This question comes to you via Facebook. So, I've been watching your videos on YouTube and I'm really confused. Our pool vacuum doesn't have the strength to suction, to vacuum and filter, but it will vacuum on filter to waste. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. We followed up with a question, is it a sand filter? Has the sand been changed? Or does it need to be cleaned? She confirmed it's a sand filter. It was new 3 years ago. And when she sought the advice of her local pool store, they said to change the O-ring in the pump. She did that and it didn't change anything. Backwash, but there's no pressure on the gauge located on the filter, so she's not sure if that's broken. And she doesn't know if she'll need a whole new filter. We also asked if they have any cottonwood trees or debris, so she did go into the filter and took off the top layer, but it didn't do anything. So she's wondering if she needs to do a sand change and start fresh. She did notice a lot of clumps of dirt in the sand. What would your advice be?
My advice would be, first, replace your vac hose. So when you're vacuuming a pool through filter, there's a lot more suction because the pump is having to work harder to push sand through to push water through the sand. And the net result is, how a pump works is it creates a vacuum inside. It's not doing any sucking. It's not really sucking anything. What it's doing is it's dropping the atmospheric pressure inside the pump down so far that the atmospheric pressure from the sky, from the earth, is pushing down on the water, forcing water up through that vac hose. And when you're running that vac hose through filter, the pump is working a lot harder to create that vacuum, and likely if you have any damage in the hose itself, a crack, a pinhole, anything, it's easier for it to draw in air than it is to pull water, and you're going to get very little flow. But if she puts it directly to waste, there's no restriction in the pipe, and the pump can just pull as fast as it can pull, and it overcomes whatever that potential problem is in the vac hose itself. So I would kind of start with that. Beyond that, I don't know that you need a new filter. It may be time for another sand change, although if you dug 6 inches down into the sand and didn't find anything, it's likely not that. I could see why they would have said change the gasket on the pump, but likely if it's none of those things, I'm going to guess it's probably the vac hose itself. And you might want to look at along the vac hose, has it been kinked, is it cracked, are there any spots where you might get some water draw out of that or get some air draw into the system, and by doing that the pump is just not can't overcome it.